Woke up in the wee hours of the morning, wore my rope and walked to my children's bedroom. I stared at my twin girls. Tears streamed down gathered in my eyes and streamed down my face, as I didn't know what to do anymore. I watched my twin babies. They were lying peacefully, not knowing what was about to befall them. I was devastated. I tried to fight back my tears, but it didn't. I gently closed their door, walked to my boy's room, Henry. He was sleeping peacefully and calmly. I could feel the calmness in his breath which says, "I'm home, my daddy's home." Henry was 6 while my twin girls just turned 1 year. I walked back to our grand master bedroom. I watched my husband, sleeping calmly as if nothing happened. He tossed about the bed, as if he was seeing angels singing for him in his sweet dreams. It was 4:56 a.m. I closed the door gently and walked back downstairs and took a proper view at our living room. It was so grandeur. It was grand, giant and the most beautiful, the chandeliers that glittered like diamonds. 9 rooms was the mansion. Boys' quarters were like bungalows, 3 rooms bungalows each in the boys' quarters. Yes, that was how wealthy my husband became, and I was the architect. His backbone when he was just nothing, but a man that walked around the street, job haunting. I smiled sheepishly and tearily, pretending to be strong, as I tilted my head and gazed upon the portrait, our beautiful wedding portrait. I saw it. It was not what we even thought. The wedding wasn't grand. But it was the most beautiful, the most exciting and the most sweetest and greatest thing to happen. To happen to us, especially me, because I loved my husband very much. I remembered when we got married, my husband had nothing. He was a nobody. He was nothing but a jobless graduate with a second-class upper. I was just a banker working at the tailor. My salary was just 35,000 then. But we survived. I remembered when his rent expired, he was sent out of the house. He had to move in with me in my small condominium. It was tough, but we managed. Yet, we were happy and a bit contented, but I never stopped praying for him, fasting and being by his side. I gave him all my salary. I talked to everybody I came across for him. I lost my job after a year of us living together in my small one-room self-con. We struggled, we suffered while we both searched for a job for him. I wasn't even bothered about mine. All I wanted was for him to be a man. It wasn't about his promises, because he promised me once he finds a job and a good one, I needn't work anymore. He'll take care of us, and I believed him. He proposed to me and I waited until after 4 years. I was still wearing the cheap Aboki ring for more than 4 years. Even all that, I was by his side. He got a job. Long story cut short, my husband now owns 2 companies. He's now the CEO of Trevor Holdings and Trevor Global Limited. When God answered both our prayers, especially mine, we had a grand wedding like that of a biggest celebrity. He got me a diamond gold of 5.5 m. I couldn't ask for more than him and his love and us together. He was everything. I walked down to the back. I turned around and looked at the mansion we worked together and built. Our dream house, my sweat, my prayers, and working side by side with him, and we made it. We built the mansion together. I walked to the mini garden and bar. I couldn't stay, and then I walked to the swimming pool, removed my slippers. I tucked my legs inside the water and was splashing it. Then my husband's words he said to me 2 nights ago came. I wanted that water to splash on me, that coldness to frost me, 'cause I felt warm as if there was fire everywhere. Everywhere, and everything in my body became very hot, in fact, too hot that I could imagine. It was like heaven had forgotten me. My head began to spin. I was devastated, but I tried to hold on for my kids. Andrea, I still love you, but we can't work anymore, Andrea. We have to divorce and you will move out. You can live in any of the properties in town. It's not a problem, just choose anyone. I've found another. I'm already engaged to her and she's the one I love now. I still love you and I've not forgotten everything you've done to help us get here. But sometimes it's like that. I hope you take it in good faith. Please, we will discuss more further when I come back from the club with the boys, but please, Andrea, this should be between us and nobody must know about it, yet. Since then, he's not had the opportunity to continue or tell me more about his decision. Those words kept ringing in my head. I've never done anything wrong. In fact, I work hard every day to make sure I'm the best wife and best mother for him and our kids. I love him so much, I love my family so much, but it kept me wondering. Do people just woke up and decide to stay apart from people like that? Fall out of love, break people's heart and walk away from their love like that? I kept asking my inner mine, in my lonesome but couldn't find the answer. I checked my time on my phone and I saw it was already 6:45 a.m. I didn't realize how much I've been wallowed in self-pity, lost in my thoughts. I walked back inside. He was already awake, upstairs, and watched me from the balcony. As I walked back to the house, I lifted up my eyes and saw my husband as he was watching me from the balcony. While I was staring at him, emotionally, as I turned to the front door, I looked at the fleet of cars. They were lining up at the garage. I smirked as my tears dropped. I got to the door, 2 doors, and as the domestic staff opened the doors for me, I felt my BLD clotting. There you have me. I am Andrea Odili, the wife of the famous millionaire business mogul, Segun Adeyemi, his legal loving wife of his youth, now his worst nightmare all of a sudden. Popularly known as Segs, since he became a millionaire. We've dated for 3 years, engaged for 4.5 years and married for 15 years. Yes, do the calculations, the years we've spent together. We decided not to have children yet, because we wanted them to come have a good life. We wanted to take good care of them, so while we were all working towards the success, I was going through all that. With him, I did a family planning for 4 years. I was a housewife cause he told me not to work, and for that reason he provided me with everything. I am Mrs. Andrea Segun Adeyemi, or rather, soon to be an ex-wife of Segun Adeyemi. We had 2 boys and 2 girls. I got pregnant 3 times, first 2 were boys and then last pregnancy brought my twin girls. My 2 beautiful angels. I walked in to sleep but couldn't. I went to my boys' room. The maids were already preparing the boys for school. I told them to leave it. When I couldn't sleep as my husband was preparing for work, I needed to stay with my children, as it seems they were the only thing I've got left. As I was through with them, I wanted to be the one to drive them to school that day and not their driver. I just needed that tranquility within me. I needed that peace just for that morning, so I'll have enough time to process. When I brought my cute boys downstairs for breakfast, my beautiful boys, Henry and Trevor, we named our company or his companies according to him, after our first boy, Trevor. As I was feeding them, Trevor was 8 while Henry was 6, we walked side by side to the car. He stood at the railings and watched me, as I walked out with my kids. I dropped my babies and picked them as they jumped out of the Land Cruiser into their school. I saw how happy they were. How will I even break this sort of news to them? We've always been a happy and beautiful family. I got home, as almost got knocked down or almost knocked someone down, as my thoughts and emotions was everywhere cause it's been a lot. I climbed the stairs as I tossed the keys to the driver. He was sitting there in our room, waiting to spew the last one that will ruin me entirely. Andrea, please, I want us to talk. Listen, I'm sorry for breaking that news to you in that way. You've been a rock, but sometimes it doesn't just go the way you want anymore, he said as he lifted up his portfolio. I snuggled myself and sniffle, controlling my tears, but as I opened my mouth, they all fell out. I just want to know one thing. Please, I want you to be sincere with me as when we started. What have I done wrong? What's my crime and where did I wrong you or your children, our children? Please tell me, because I don't understand any of this. For 3 days now, I've been trying to process things but it's still not adding up. It's not colliding, none of this is making sense. What's the correlation between our beautiful marriage and the news? I said or asked, while trying to hide my tears and pretend to be strong. Baby, you're the best woman and best wife, just that these things happen. I just don't love you anymore and I don't know why. I've found someone else, someone I feel safer with. I don't know how it started, when it started, but it just happened. You've been a wonderful mother to our kids, and also the most wonderful wife, ever. But we can't blame nature, or life, a man's heart, you know. Sometimes it flip and deflect and we can't control it, he said as he rested his both hands on my shoulders. I had no strength, yet, to argue with him or run mad, but I was in such a confused state. I was in a dilemma. Segun, I have been there for you right from when you were no one, had nothing, not even a roof to live. So you're telling me people just wake up and fall out of love with their wives, their husbands and, I controlled my breath. Please tell me you're not doing this to me. I have love our children with every ounce in me. I put in everything to make this family great, every day Segun, every day I do things to make us happy. So we wouldn't fall apart, So it wouldn't be because of me because I'm no more trying. What have I really done wrong? How do I tell our children this? I said while allowing that tears to flow freely, couldn't fight it back anymore. Tell them anything, you're their mother. And I'll tell you this and be very sincere and serious with you. Don't let anyone know we're divorced, not even your family or mine, not the church or my business partner. Especially my business partner, especially our two investors. They love investing on my business, my two investors. They love doing business with me because of us. Because of how close they always see the two of together, they always said they love our marriage. The contract I told you will be given to me, he categorically told me it's because if the kind of woman my wife is. He said he was introducing us to his wife for a dinner date, he said he wants his wife to learn from you. And the way we walk side by side. So I'll tell you not to ruin this for me, let the divorce be between us. You will quietly move out of this mansion, take any of the property and live with our kids. Whatever you want, whatever business you want. Do let me know, I'll do it for you. I'll talk to my lawyer next month or something. I just wanted to fill you in, so you won't be left out. He said as he turned to open the door. So I'll just leave the house we built, we're always good together. I'll just leave the marriage I worked hard for. So I'll just walk away, so you'll just dump me like this. Please, whatever I've done, please have a change of hearts. Forgive me, Sagan. I love you with my life and my entire life. I said emotionally teary. I'm sorry, Andrea, but my mind is made up. I'll make you know my new wife. Please just let this divorce be between us. Nobody should know. If you love me so much, do this for me and prove it, my business partners, my investors, and especially for the 1.7 billion naira contract I'm signing in 2 months. Keep this between us. Our lawyer will come around in a few weeks to clarify the divorce. He said as he creaked the door handle open and stepped out. Sagan, wait, please wait. I promise you I'll change and I'll be a good wife again if I've done anything wrong. Remember our promise, and the promise you made to your kids, and to me please, I'm sorry. I bellowed as I opened the door and ran after him like a crazy woman. He turned from the stairs. I'm sorry, Andrea, but I just don't feel it or you anymore. I'm sorry I can't. He said and continue while I cried and begged. He turned right at the stairs, holding the railings and looked at me and walked down without saying anything. My world was shattered, so I walked to my baby's room and took them from the nanny. I held my baby girls, my angels closely, and my tears continued to drop on them uncontrollably. My world seemed to be ruined, I saw it coming to an end. I literally have no life and world and no home with my husband and kids. How do I change his mind? But his mind was already made up. I was devastated, while my husband was already cavorting the town with his soon-to-be young beautiful new wife and love. Such pain, can it ever end? I was in my room, playing with my kids as I tried to smile with my babies for the first time. It was on Saturday. He returned from office and the meeting yesterday night, being Friday, and told me how the meeting went. He told me that I should prepare for today. I asked him why. He said he'd tell me when he come back this morning. He entered the gym house that was close to our bar and mini garden. We had a big gym house there. He was there, working out as usual. I watched him like I always did. I wanted to go and prepare his favorite breakfast, as usual. Then I remember we're no longer that kind of couple anymore. I told my nannies to bath my boys, bring them to the dinning while I was bathing my babies alone. In my lonesome I was still happy. I still had a little bit of hope because of my children. While we were at the dinning, he came in from the gym to shower. He saw us downstairs at the dinning and climbed up. He rushed out with his driver without having to talk to me or anyone. He was on a call. He returned at about 3:45 p.m. and came straight to my room while I was playing with my 4 children and their nannies. I was surprised to see him. He smiled at me and I saw that smile. It was fake and I already knew he wanted something from me. He winked at me but I decided to ignore. I pretended not to see his face or even look at him. He came back and called me. I followed him while carried Joan that was always so clingy. That was when he told me about the dinner. I didn't utter a word to him and with all the excitement in his face, I smirked. He was surprised. For the first I wasn't crying but my heart was shattering, while pretending to be strong. He pleaded with me to go to the dinner. They asked for double couple dinner this evening at 7 p.m. And his wife said, I must come with my wife so I have to. He told me to dress my best as usual. I nodded but had no reason.